Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to do episode 1. So, I did like an episode 0.5. It was pretty much the tutorial. I'm just going to go with that. What I end up with is a bit more materials than if you would have started at Tier 1 and skipped the whole tier. That's called Tier 0. So, now... what I have to do, because I have copper, I'm not going to worry about copper, but I have to get some more iron running here. And I'm going to go farm the forest that's over here. Reasoning for farming the forest is to get... You know what? I don't think I can make it up here. It's to get biomass. You need to have power in this game. Like, that's a no... Come on. I thought you could make it. You need to have power in this game. It's, well, it's just a no-brainer, right? So, without power, you can't automate without any of that. So, I'm just going to do up these iron ingots real quick. I'll be right back. And we're back from AFK pocket building. Okay, I ran out and got a bit of concrete because I needed 200 concrete for this milestone. So now I'm just gonna pump out some copper or some iron plates and iron rods, and then we'll complete that one. Okay, so I made all my stuff, and now I can complete this one base building. I'm just gonna run over something real quick here. In Tier 2 under obstacle clearing. It's a little bit different ingredients. I'd have to go with screws and cable, but I got it. The reason I'm going with base building rather than obstacle clearing. Obstacle clearing, you can make the chainsaw the solid biofuel, and you will go off and go clear right away, and you can start your power. If you don't care about starting your factory on, say, the desert floor or up here on the rock or whatever, then you know what? You might want to go with the clearing first. If you're going with my theory of how I like to start a factory and how I go, only because obstacle clearing is next for me. The only reason base building is first, I want the foundations. I want to build on foundations. That's it. That's no other reason, no other purpose. No, that's it. So for me, this is next. Now,
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Okay, thanks, Ada. Now, in Tier 0, we did not have the pod. We now have the pod. I'm guessing it's going to space? You know what? I've never looked up the storyline to find out where that thing goes, or why, or the reasons, or the purpose. Sorry, never looked it up. So for the next one, even though the pod is gone, we would not, even if I had the materials, we would not be able to complete. But we can still go to selecting our next milestone, which for us, me, is going to be obstacle clearing. So now I can go about grabbing those materials. I don't have enough materials, but I know by the time I get back to my limestone and then get back, I should have enough to build 100 concrete. So I'm going to run out there and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, concrete in hand. I'm going to build all this. Be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So I did up all of the copper into wire, and then I made up enough wire to do the obstacle clearing. I made some plates because I knew I'd need them. I did some iron rod because I knew I'd need them, and I did over, and then I created enough screws. I think you're getting the point here, right? And true to my nature, I went in AFK because I don't see a point in sitting here. And while I was AFK, I made a coffee. Except, let's see if I can get the spacing right here. There we go. A little screenshot for you. Okay. I am a geek, absolutely. So, on to building. Now, we're going to plug this in. Come on, plug, and plug. let's get that going. Now, what that gave me
Milestone reached.
was...
Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood.
Yep.
Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
Yay! Okay, so I put some ramps up there because I had to go down and go get that, and I had ramps. Just to show you this, in your hotbar down below, you have 10 hotbars. You'll notice the little number 10 down below going. So each one of these you can set up as a different hotbar, as a different, you know, what you're going to be doing. Now, in the beginning of the game, I pretty much leave it to some very basic stuff, but I'll set that stuff up later, but I thought I'd show you that. Now, the chainsaw requires reinforced iron plate. Okay, so in order to make that, we go here, and we go reinforced iron plate, and then we pump out, I believe it was 5. It was 5. Can't afford. What can't I afford? Oh, you're kidding me. Screws? Really? Okay. Alrighty. Let's pump out a few more screws then. Now, here's the thing. I can make the chainsaw. Yay! Yeah, good for me. Okay. And away we go. The problem is that, one, I can't have it in my hand as well as the Xeno Zapper. So I'm going to have to be able to switch hands there. But I also don't have the fuel for it. You'll notice if I put the chainsaw in my hands, look at the bottom left. You'll notice there's a 0 beside that fuel. So I can't left click and zin, 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 and get the... Okay. So we have to go down here to biomass. Now, I did pick a few leaves and some wood. Okay. So I can do up the leaves. The wood isn't going to go anywhere. And I can do up 4 solid biofuel. Alrighty. 4. We're going to go off and we're going to, with 4, we're going to go have some fun. I just threw these foundations up just to get up that hill because it was kind of rough. I don't foresee running into too many creatures out here, but it is going to happen. I don't think you can hotbar that. So that's my healing, by the way. That's barrel nuts. And you eat your nuts, and then it gives you... I think it's half a bar, like half of one of the white bars down below beside my heart down there. The heart down there, that is your health. That get to low, get to 0, and you'll die. It is what it is. Did I take a wrong turn here while I was gabbing? No, I'm in the right spot. Almost took a wrong turn. So what I'm aiming for now is these trees. Yeah, those are the trees. They look a little weird, but they are trees. As soon as it lights up, highlights white around it, you're good to cut. You have to hold the button all the way through.
The mycelia within this fungus suggests strong molecular bonding features frequently observed in adhesives and medicine, both beneficial for field research. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Cool. The stumps are good too. If you chainsaw leaves and whatnot, brush, if you'll notice, it takes a range around you. Okay. So although right now I'm just targeting wood, it's not a bad idea to target the bush. Notice I highlighted the grass white. Not a bad idea to do that. Sometimes features around the tree will disappear as well as the tree, and you will get the commodities and the resources for that. In this case, that stuff did not, but... I got 1 fuel left. Let's burn it. Big tree. Lots of wood. Oh, still got fuel. Yeah, now I'm out. Yeah, it's out. So, might as well put this back in. Okay. Now, I will be automating this. Right now, I'm going to do this in Pocket like all the rest of the stuff that I've been doing. But I will be doing this automated. I'll show you the way I do it. So it's a very simple, when I come back with trees and brush and whatnot, I just plug it into a storage. That storage feeds it into a constructor. Those constructors make the biomass. Then the biomass constructors feed it into another one, which turns it into solid biofuel, which works just fine for me. Of course, you'll notice why I put those up. It's much easier to get up. For right now, I use ramps. Later on, I will be using the actual stairways, and I'll show you where that stuff comes from. So we're back to biomass. So I'm going to quickly jump in here. The reason I went for more wood, leaves, 10 leaves will make 5 biomass. 4 wood will make 20 biomass. You notice all the biomass I got, and I now have 608 solid biofuel. Be right back. Okay, so now that I'm done processing all the biomass the leaves and the wood into biomass and the biomass into solid biofuel, you'll notice I have 608 solid biofuel. Okay, now I'm ready to build a factory. Now I have fuel. I don't like using biomass as a fuel. I don't like using leaves and wood as a fuel until I have the chainsaw. You'll notice that I went out with, 4 fuel? And I went and got 608? Yeah, that's much better time management in my book. Okay, so next step. We have to start processing the iron to make plates and rods. And then eventually reinforced iron plate, okay, which is another one down here. That's the reinforced iron plate. Okay, the ingredients are screws and plates. So my next step is iron ingots into iron plates, iron rods, and screws. There is an alternate recipe for screws that goes right from iron ingots into screws, but I have yet to go get that hard drive that's sitting over there, and I also don't have the MAM. Okay, so, I mean, there are a few things I have to build. Now, the MAM is not available to me, right, because it's in here, and it's under field research, the MAM. So I would have to get together plates, screws. Okay, I'd have to get together a few things. Now, it would give me the map, the object scanner. It would give me a few things that, yes, I do want, like a hand slot. A hand slot, by the way, would be one more hand. That way I could have the chainsaw and the Xeno Zapper on at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of important. But for me, step 1, step 2, step 3, in the, I can't remember how many maps I've done. This will be my 6th big map. Umpteen numbers of smaller ones, failed ones. Sometimes I started a map and then they did an update. I was going to check on, where's my build menu? So I am going to want a constructor, 2 reinforced iron plate, and 8. Okay, so let's make some cable. Let's go. That should be enough. Okay, reinforced iron plate was in there, in which case I don't have enough screws. So let's dance a few more screws. Okay, I can make... Okay, let's go there. We want 2 reinforced iron plate. Okay, good enough. I'm looking at 1 constructor, a little bit of conveyor, and 1 storage unit. I think I have enough. The lookout tower is kind of neat, by the way. It provides a good overview, which makes factory construction easier earlier in the game. You probably don't need lookout towers later in the game because you will have jetpack and or the wings. I call them the wings. They got a different. They're basically gives you flight without having to enable a cheat mode. Walls, foundations, not there yet. Just give me a minute, and I need to be able to make a biomass burner. So I'm going to need more rods and. Okay, let's try. Let's try this from here. Okay, what I'm looking for is concrete, cement. With cement, we build foundations. The cost of a foundation is iron plates and concrete. Brain fart. I'm having a gray moment. So I want to automate this. Now, notice that my plates are way behind me. My copper is in front of me, and my limestone is in front of me. These are pretty spread out in the desert biome here. Not a lot of choice with this. You're pretty much kind of stuck. So I'm not under a huge need of copper right yet. I've got lots of cables, so I'm not going to raid. Those are full, but I'm not going to raid them quite yet. I have another limestone vein in the horizon over there, way over there, and I have the one that I've been using and abusing. Now, in order to make a miner MK1, you need cement, iron plate, and you need a miner. Okay, well, that we got covered, right? Because we have... grab it all and pick it up. Grab it all and pick it up. Pick it up. Once you're going to build a miner, you can't have the portables on there. Okay, you just... this will take up all of the room. You notice how it turns blue? It snaps to, and it turns blue. Okay. So, there we go. Yay, we got our first miner. Now, from here, kind of line up to the front, and then I'm going to go this direction. Now, I don't have a lot of cement. Okay, so right now, I'm going to build this on the floor. So, we build the first one. 57, we build that. And then from here, I'll line this up again, and we will go to our organization, grab there we go. In the game, when you line things up, you see the green line? Yeah, the green line will line things up, make it nice and straight for you. It's a lot easier when you're on foundations, by the way. Okay, so conveyor belts do not require power. Constructors, on the other hand, do. Miners do require power. Okay, so I'm hoping I got enough. I didn't do the actual math. I have enough. Okay, we're going to make one biomass burner. We're going to put it here. Alrighty. We're going to take a power line. We're going to put it to a power pole. This automatically comes out. Excuse me. So I could just build number 1, the power pole. Okay. And you'll notice it's 3, 1, and 1. Okay, but that doesn't have power lines hooked to it. So you go power line, number 2. This is going to cost me 1 cable, but then it's the cost of 1 cable plus the 3, 1, and 1. So it doesn't cost you any more to do it that way, but it's just a little faster. Okay, so none of this is going to start up. And by the way, inside your constructors, you have a range of different recipes. Remember, I was talking about turning biomass leaves and whatnot into biomass, and then biomass into solid fuel. This is what it's done with as a constructor. Well, here we have, and we are attached to a limestone mine. So, concrete. Pick that out. Come in here, insert fuel. Let's take 200 of that. In it goes, and we are off and running. So, the power graph. Your orange line is where on the power graph you want to read. In other words, if you want to read where this dip in production is, okay, you can read that it's producing, needing to produce. In other words, this biomass generator is producing 5.1 megawatts. The max consumption is 9, and in between, it's 9. So what's going on here? Well, this is running at a fairly constant 5 megawatts, and it's mining constantly. Now, I could dump that in there and it'll shut down the miner until this gets low enough that it needs to pump up the mine again. See how it started back up again? Okay. Now the conveyor belt is full as well, and we can look in here and we are running a lot smoother because I have a better supply of limestone. Now if I fill that, go here, you notice how the dipping stopped. Okay, so because it did not have a constant supply of limestone, the constructor was not running at, I know it doesn't say it, right? I will get this later on when I complete something in the hub over there. Okay, I will get what my piece of machinery is running at, 100%, this percent, that percent. This is locked right now. Okay, so this is your overclocking ability. It's the ability to turn this up and burn higher power and make more things, and I'll show you that later. So I just wanted to show you the power and how if something is running constantly, you will produce as much as you need for consumption. Now, the other one I wanted to show you is there's a line of consumption. Consumption runs right along with these three depending upon how your factory's running. It'll be better to show you this later on. The capacity is the important one. Like any other production, factory, whatever game that you're playing, in Icarus, my current run through in the open world Icarus, I have 20, I have it right in front of me actually. I have 32,000 megawatts coming out of my water wheels in that game, and I'm using 28,005. But I do not have this, which is a graph, which tells me what my max consumption is, what my capacity is. So as a factory builder, you need to watch this. Because if you don't, you're going to break a circuit. The circuit is over here, okay, or you'll get another window over here on the power poles, and it'll be a breaker switch. Okay, so now I am automating building cement. And I can come by here at any time. I can take all, sort it, whatever. You have some options within that storage. There is another storage that's twice the size. Later on down the road, that gets opened up. Okay, but the important thing is now I have automated. Now, notice I've gone through 5 fuel, 4 per minute. Okay, and you watch how fast it's burning and creating 30 megawatts. Okay, so I grabbed a few more cable. Now I need to automate my iron. And I'm pretty much going to use the same concept of having its own biomass burner right here. And I have 2 up there on the main, so I'm probably going to use those. Okay. Now I have 2 mines here. And I'm probably... none of this is going to stay, so I don't really care. Building foundations is a pretty easy operation in this one. And getting rid of them, dismantling them, I held the shift or the control key down, and I can dismantle all of them. So building, you get all of your resources back. It's not like you get only partial or anything like that. You get it all. So it's not a big deal canceling and rebuilding factories. I wanted to build up here, though. Now, what you can also do is down below, you'll see that across the bottom, you have build, left mouse button, rotate hologram is your mouse wheelie. Scroll up, scroll down, mouse wheelie. Snap to guidelines, which means you can hold the left control, and it will snap it to your, for in this case, the thing you're next to. If I were to hold it to the the equipment workshop, it noticed that it snaps it to the side of it. Okay, so depending upon that's, and if I were to have a foundation out there, then I could snap it to that. I can lock the hologram into place, and this is a new ability. Okay, where you use your 4 arrow keys and you can nudge it around. They call it nudging. Okay. The build menu is the right mouse button, meaning cancel all of this and go to the build menu. Okay. Or, let's get back into H, lock hologram. I can build it with the left mouse button. I can move it around, nudge it because it's not close enough. Sometimes when you're looking at it, you couldn't see the far side of it. In which case, I mean, this is just awesome. This is a new function in the game. The ability to nudge a hologram around is just, that's new. Really, really cool. Now, if I really wanted to, I could hide the HUD of just the building menu. Not your entire HUD, but just the building menu HUD, in which case I just don't want all that stuff down at the bottom. Okay, in other words, now, Q is escape out, same as the right mouse button was to get you in the build menu. So I'm going to build this, but I'm going to, I align myself with true north, like right on, and then I'm going to align the Foundation. Just, I don't know, something I do. The other one. Okay, so we've gone through the first 4. Okay. I could go R. Now, the different build modes. Vertical, default, zoop. Okay, so default is the default one where you will, when you expend the trigger, you shall, fire one of your chosen articles off. Meaning, in this case, it's a foundation. And I will click and click 1. Okay. Zoop. We'll build a bunch. So I'm holding my mouse key down, and I'm zooping more. Don't ask me why they used the word zoop. I have no idea. Am I out? I am out. Okay. So that is foundation building. Now, unlike Icarus, Valheim, other games on my channel, there is no physics in this game. I'm going to say yet. Now, I've never heard any hints, confirmation, non-confirmation of whether there's going to be physics in this game. There is no physics. And let me prove that to you. Okay. No physics. When you place an item, it's placed. It will stay there. There's floating, all the rest of that. Remember, this is still early access. I don't know. Welcome to it. I don't have anything else to give you on that one. So if you don't like games without physics, you might as well leave now. Sorry to say, because this game doesn't have it as yet. Anyway, I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to make all my ingots up. Okay, so I smelted all the metals, put together some reinforced iron plate. I put a bunch of stuff into the storages back there because I didn't need it anymore. And this is what I've constructed. Now, I'm made more of the concrete. And probably I'm going to run out. About there. Okay, I think we're good enough. So up here, I'm going to need smelters. Okay, now because under my build menu, under logistics, I do not have splitters yet. I'm going to start with 2 smelters. Okay, and I'm going to spread them way apart. And I'll be honest, right now I just don't care. I know that's harsh for people to hear, but I just don't. Oh, I ran out of cement. Okay. I'm going to go for a quick run to my... Now, I know I'm spread apart here. I understand that. Here's my thinking, just so you know where I'm at. It takes quite a bit of iron plate to make a conveyor belt that would run the... commodities, because I have copper out here as well on this side. So it would take quite a bit to run the copper and the limestone back to where my main part of my factory is right at this point in time, like where my hub is. But understand, my factory will encompass all the way from the hub all the way over to the water. Not quite to that rock over there, but beautiful scenery, by the way. Thank you very much, devs. The far distance scenery is much, much better than where it was. I can't reach that hill right here that I got mousing over. I can't reach that. That's off the map, but it looks really cool to have it at the edge of the map like that. It really does. Lots of good work. Good stuff. This is visually stunning, by the way, with the Unreal Engine 5. Wow. It's why I waited to play this, by the way. I didn't want to start a map. I didn't do a full investigation on exactly what areas were going to be affected by the new update. So what I opted to do is, because I was busy with channel stuff anyways, I opted to not play for a little bit and wait for this to come out. Because myself and my wife's work schedules do not always mesh, we're on a totally different schedule. I'm 5 on, 2 off, and she's 4 on, 4 off. So sometimes we have to wait for 3 weeks before our days off mesh to the point where she has half a brain to play, She works 12s. Yeah, it's rough. She loves her job, but it's rough. So on her first day off, she doesn't always come home and want to play right away. So in case you're wondering why sometimes our multiplayer, like I haven't put out an Icarus in a little while, yeah, that's why. Is because she's not exactly available. But don't worry, we're not stopping the Icarus. It just, you know, but this gives me something to do while I'm. Oh yeah, right. So now we'll put that one in, and let's save the rest and make it to a miner. Can we fit that? Yep, that'll work. Okay, and we got the other one. Yep. Okay. Now I'm scrolling back and forth between my hotbars with my Alt key held down and my scrolly mouse button. Okay, and that'll scoot you around to the different. The way you tag things onto that hotbar is you go into your build menu and you mouse over, say what you want. In this case, I don't really want anything. Let's do walls on bar 2. So here I would want 7 and 8, so I'm going to make that 8 and that 7. And that's how you put things onto your hotbar. So anyways, we do not have logistics quite yet. That is not going to work. Cute. I forgot I don't have. Okay, so we're going to go up with you, and then into there. And I don't think... So now, also, if you want, like, I don't have a miner in my hotbar, and I'm not going to put one there. You could middle mouse button click on that miner and pick a miner up. Okay, I don't know that you saw that. I do not have a build menu right now. I got my Xeno Zapper in my hand. Middle mouse over what you want, your object, middle mouse button. It's a way to quickly get items. I think we can just go from here. Quickly get items into your bar. Now, from here, I'm going to show you some interesting... You can middle mouse button, wheelie do yourself, and then yellow means caution. Overlapping others' clearance clipping may occur. Not the end of the world. Blue, much better. Okay. So I'm going to go... I can't. It goes red. Okay. So... we want to get up there and yet still have the ability to walk, I'm going to go up one level, then I'm going to come this way, and I can't afford it. Okay, well. Now I'm going to put power poles in for now. I'm going to put a power pole right in the middle of these two. Hook them both up to there. Then I'm going to run you to here and then to there. Okay, so running a power system in this is you have to kind of plan what you're going to do, because right now I only have 4 connections for each one of these. So when I run one over to here to run the 2 miners, that's going to put that one at 3. I always want to have 1 extra. It's kind of the way I think anyways. So I got 3 there, I got 2 there, so I got 1 more that can go anywhere, and then this one would have to go next door, so that I have another power pole. And then you have to, basically, you have to watch how you're running your power. Later on, I'm going to have so many different options. You can clean it up so much better. It's way, way better later on in the game. And you'll see it. Don't worry. It's coming. There's wall connectors. There's all sorts of fun stuff that you can use. Now. Okay. So, both of these should be running. They are. This one's the only one going to be bringing anything in, so I'm going to choose iron ingots. Okay. And eventually this will run me. I don't have any iron ore on me. So this will run iron ingots. And then from iron ingots into production, into these, I want to run a constructor. You got to watch your ins and outs, by the way. Sometimes depending upon which way you put your last constructor, your last building, it'll turn this around. So you always have to pay attention. Orange in, greenish out. Okay. Once again, line up the lines so that you're lined up. I'm not pushing any buttons right now, by the way. I'm just mousing back and forth until I get that line. And then, oh. And we're now running iron ore into ingots. In which case I have to make a couple of plate just to get, like I said, that's why I didn't run the limestone into cement and run it all the way back here. You notice the cost of things. This is it's kind of a slow go until you get everything done. Now here I'm going to want to make iron plates. Now instead of running that power line right to that constructor, I'm going to run it in between first and then run it over. So now it has power. Check your power, because you notice as I add more machines, I'm adding more power, I'm taking more power. My capacity is 20 megawatts, my consumption is 18.1. But my max consumption is 22. So if everything fires up at once, which it's not going to, because you see this is hooked up, but it's not using any power. Okay, you'll notice I haven't picked a recipe with it because I don't want it to run quite yet. What I'm going to have to do is I'm just waiting. Get a few more power plates out of this. It's nighttime, moon's up, it's pretty light out. There's not too many clouds in this game. As I recall, I don't know what they've done with the weather system. This is another one where it's been a while since I've played. So I'm going to go into, before I run out of biomass, right? Because I'm down to 183. That's not a big deal. I mean, hey, I went out here with 6 to begin with, right? Coffee. Because I went out here with 6, I think you all get the point that you can leave home base with a little bit of fuel and come back with a lot of biomass once you have the... And here's the reason. Before, you would have been single-clicking your E key, all right, to pick up leaves. Now you come to a central, and you get everything around it. So you'll gain, like I gained 17 leaves there. So if I go to the middle of a fairly good mass, I got 76 leaves, some mycela, some wood. Yeah, much better way. And like I said, wood is better than leaves. So you're better off to just go to the trees and take the stumps. Oh, hostility. There he is. Okay. Come back here, buddy. These guys are not pigs. You have to be careful. Okay, well that one, I'm going to say that one was pretty easy. Oh, there it is. They will always drop remains. Make sure you get them. Let's see. They're needed in the MAM for upgrading at first, and then you don't need them anymore for that. They are used in health. They call them inhalers in this, but it's basically your health, how you get your health back in this game. They're used for that. Let me see what else are... You can use one type of remains. Oh, my memory is not serving me right now. To make cloth. Fabric. In other words, there's multiple... I'm just going to go with there's multiple uses for remains. There just is. You're better off to keep them. They have other uses, so always farm right from the beginning. Storages are not that hard to put up. Even if you got to put up one of the big storages, Okay, how am I doing? I'm doing great. Even if you got to put up one of the big storages to hold your stuff, instead of one of the little personal storage bins like the one we have back there at the hub, even if you got to do that, I mean, no big deal, right? Really, when it comes down to it. Storing stuff in this game is fairly easy. You don't get a lot of storage in your personal inventory. There are mods to counter that. In my last playthrough, I was getting tired of it, and I used a 100 pocket mod that's out there. So I had 100 spaces in this, and it scrolled down like anything else, and it was huge. But I started the game out vanilla. I almost always have started games out vanilla. Where are you? It's a boar. Well, pig, whatever. Okay, let me get to open ground. And whoa. Ah, wrong buttons. Huh, still missed them. Okay, and zip past them. Come on, buddy. Come on. Charge. Come on. You can do it. And I'm going to go left this time. And left. Oh, didn't go fast enough. Okay. Left. Well, right, sorry. And he's dead. A little bit of damage on that one. They're not that hard to dodge. Those guys are not that hard to dodge. There are other ones in this game, much bigger guys. And as I understand it, we got two new, and I don't know whether they changed the parameters on those two new guys either. I have no idea. So, adventuring in this game is a lot of fun. You can get slugs, which is right in my cursor. There's a slug up there. Slug up at the top of that. You can tell because they get this, let me get the sun out of there. They get this, like, raindrops coming to it really slow, okay? But they get, like, these raindrop looking things. They get kind of an aura around them. And they make a slight little bit of noise when you get close to them. You'll hear it later in the playthrough. I'm not worried about slugs right now. I cannot overclock any of my stuff, and I don't have the MAM up, so there's no point. You need slugs for advancement on your, I call it a tech tree, but you're going to need that. Lost my way. Yeah. There I am. Knew I was close. You're going to need them for like tech advancements on your tech tree. It's just something you're going to need. What is this? Looks like iron. Oh, rock quartz. You're going to need some quartz.
This mineral shows purity levels akin to synthetic quartz manufactured on Earth and can be used to improve communication and exploration technologies. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Always good to collect stuff.
Technologies can be developed based on this new superconductive gold-like element, primarily in power and electronics. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Here's a good question for you. This is Samor. So up until now, this hasn't been useful. And I'm going to go with the fact that being as how Ada didn't say anything, it's still not useful. There are some elements in this game that aren't used quite yet, folks. In case you've never looked at an early access game or played one. Impure, yeah, whatever. Early access games don't always come with all their elements intact. So on this game, this is one that isn't intact yet. This is the Samor. We've been waiting for a while, patiently, for Samor to come about and get useful and be used and all that fun stuff. When, where are we at here? Okay, so can I build you? Oops, one. No, I can't. Let's go up top. I'll be redoing that ramp here real quick too. Now, I didn't put a storage on the other end of this because I didn't need it. Because I'm going to be coming and raiding the plates by hand for the next little bit. But I will eventually be putting a storage on the end of that because that's just, well, makes sense, doesn't it? want to be pretty far away. Conveyor belts do have a max, but what I'm looking at is I still have to get it up to there. So I don't want to... I want to be near the end of this so that I don't clip. There. That is how I wanted to do that. Now I'm going to be using more power. Okay, because now this miner is going to be running. And I'm going to be running close to my power max on this in this area. On this circuit, if you want to call it that. So, we now have to go here. Fill you up. And insert there. Now, we just jumped in power. Okay, I'm now making double. I'm now making, my capacity is now 40 instead of 20. A biomass burner, this biomass burner, will make 20 megawatts. So I am now going to create myself some biomass. I'll be back in a sec. I gotta refill my coffee anyway. So that'll bring this episode to a close. I was hoping to get both the rods and the plates going, but that'll happen next episode. I just started running into, too much different things to do. So yeah, that ends this episode. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, like, subscribe, all the rest of that fun stuff. Leave me comments. Like, not like, agree, don't agree. Hey, different ideas too. Just because of this is the way I do doesn't mean this is the way I have to do. I always love new ideas and new things and look at new stuff. Anyways, yeah. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.